Okay, got to know what the Coach Brown, Dawson Reynolds thing is before games. It didn't happen this last week, but apparently there's something that goes on before the games. Coach mentioned it here a little bit ago.
Right after we break up from individual and we come together as a team, I run up to him and he just gets me going. We just have a little exchange, a few words of motivation.
Where did that start? Where does that come from? How long has this been going on?
Since I got here last year, the first game, I just ran up to him and I said, "Show me some love, coach, show me some love." And then he gives me a little shove, and then from there on out.
Last week with Caleb back there at quarterback, it seemed like the offense really kicked into gear right from the very beginning. What was that like for you? To give you confidence, being able to move the ball and score early? What was that like for you, having him back there?
It felt really good. I feel like all season long, at the beginning of the games, we've been real dominant towards the beginning, and we die off towards the end. And it was nice being able to put it together for a full game.
What's it like knowing that you have that dual threat back there, that Caleb, if you give him a seam, that he can go a long ways? Does that really help you in your blocking or get you motivated?
Oh, it's great. I feel like, if one of us are missing a block, if we're getting beat, we can just yell out his name. He knows he can just take off and get some extra yards and prevent a sack.
Seen in the MIAA this year, and then other levels too, more calls of ineligible man down the field, and typically that's an offensive lineman, and usually it's when a quarterback's scrambling around, there's crazy things happening. How do you go about not getting too far down the field when the plays may be taking a little longer than what you would think?
I feel like a big part of that is like the RPOs, when sometimes as offensive linemen we don't really even know that it's an RPO, and we're told to run play and we're run blocking. I feel like that's what happens a lot of the time with that.
What are you seeing from Washburn's defense? Anything different that perhaps you've seen so far this season, or is it more of the same?
I feel like we're pretty comfortable with it. It reminds us a lot of ourselves. 4 down front. They're going to twist a lot. We've seen that early on this season. Feel pretty confident watching film.
I believe we've talked to you in the past in one of these, but you'll have to refresh my memory. Why did you why did you choose Fort Hays State University?
The culture is a winning culture. It reminds me of Mojo. And when I got here, just even on my visit, all the players seemed really welcoming, and you can really tell that the whole team's really tight-knit together, like everybody truly loves each other here.
There's 7,100 people roughly here on Saturday night, and for Hays, Kansas, that's a big crowd. I've seen Texas football stadiums that look like they should belong in the Division I ranks somewhere. What's the biggest crowd that you've played in front of, or do you have any idea what it would be?
Upwards of 20,000 at Permian. A Midland League game, an OHS game, we sell it out. But the environment here, that's what my mom was asking me about how that felt. I said it might have been better than Mojo. I had goosebumps. It felt really, the stadium was rocking.
Is there a moment that you notice the environment, whether that's maybe when the defense is out on the field or pregame warm-up? Is there just a moment where you notice it and kind of take it in?
Definitely pregame, and then I'm big on when defense is out there. After we make our adjustments, I like to get the crowd going and stuff, so I notice it then.
Looking back, what was your biggest adjustment in coming to Hays America in the first place?
For me, out of high school, I stayed in my hometown, so just moving 11 hours away, that was the biggest adjustment. My mom's like, "You graduated college and then you're going off to college for the first time."
You get homesick at all?
I don't. I thought I was, but everybody here, the team, everybody, if you start to feel homesick, like you have another family here, like it helps you keep your mind at ease.
What is the offensive line, and you can include any backups in this that you would want as well, but what's the offensive line like as a group? Because it seems like you guys work really well together on the field, and that's not always the case in some teams that we watch. What is the group like for the offensive line?
It's great. We're big on togetherness. We do everything together. We go out to eat 4 times a week for dinner, and we can't miss it. We go to the same place every week, same time. Superstition.
Okay, so what's an offensive lineman meal outlook like? Is it just as crazy as probably what most people are going to hear this and think of, or is it kind of normal?
It's pretty crazy. We all get our own appetizers, our own meal. Some people get 2 meals if they're gaining weight guys.
So I gotta ask, what place do you go to?
We're big on going to Thirsties every Thursday. On Thursdays, we include, the running backs, receivers, quarterbacks, everybody, and not just the offensive line. We all like to go get steaks.
So is that your go-to place the other nights as well?
On the other nights, we'll switch it up. We'll go to Gellis on Mondays, Defiance on Tuesdays, Sakatumi on Wednesdays.
So what's your go-to pregame meal?
My go-to pregame meal is ribeye and shrimp at Thirsties with some tater skins.
Going through your senior year, and I hear from athletes, talk to athletes a bunch, seems like that some of these moments, those moments that we're right there talking about, that it seems like those are some of the highlights as much as playing in front of 7,000 people and beating the number 12 team in the country.
Oh, most definitely. It feels great to win, especially in environments like that. But like after the games, like UCO when we lost, instead of going home riding back with my my lady, I rather ride on the bus and get the cramps on the bus, like all those little moments. That's what I'm gonna miss the most.
Do you take the games or practices any differently now because it's your senior year?
No and yes. Like I've always, I go into it every one play at a time, try to go as hard as I possibly can. But it'd be my last year. I'm trying to squeeze every ounce of it out. I try to show up with a smile on my face to everything. Just soak it all in.
There was a stretch on Saturday. I think I said your name on about three out of 4 plays, and there was a play where it looked like you didn't get to a block in time, and I don't know the reason why it ended up being a loss. And on the next play, you obliterated some kid from Central Missouri. Take me through how a mistake in a game. How do you overcome that so that it doesn't affect the next play?
I forget about it. I always to the offensive line. I always like to preach. When you mess up, short-term memory. Just forget it. Move on to the next play. We'll correct it in film. Yeah, we're gonna get yelled at, but all you can do is you can't let it define you. You gotta just overcome it. Just forget about it and move on. Do better.
Is that something you've always had, or something you had to learn?
I feel like that's something that I've always had. I feel like Coach Ellison back at Permian kind of installed that into me.
Coming off of a big win against the 12th ranked team in the nation, how do you guard against a letdown the following week against Washburn?
Just not letting off at all. Coming into practice and being uncomfortable, not getting comfortable, staying uncomfortable, and just trying to build off of it, trying to improve on the little mistakes that we had, and just strive to be perfect.
Coach talked about communication last game and the game before, different center, and then obviously Porter got banged up last week. Do you feel comfortable and feel like everybody rotates in pretty well and the communication doesn't miss a beat when you got a new guy next to you?
No, for sure. We always talk about next man up. Injuries happen, especially in our position. We all practice. We all prepare the same. We can't have any drop off if somebody goes down. Next man up's what we always talk about. I feel comfortable next to all of them. We're all, like I said, we're all tight knit. We're all buddies. We hang out with each other every single day. So
there is a common theme in football that offensive linemen are just different because they're the only ones that kind of get in trouble when something goes bad. When something goes good, their names are never talked about. Your only job is to protect while everybody else gets to attack. What is it about being an offensive lineman that is just different, or is it different and everybody else is just making things up just to be cool on social media?
No, it's definitely different. I feel like not everywhere, all offense linemen, I feel like we kind of take pride in that. We know we get no glory. We're the first ones to come to blame, and it's just you fall in love with it. I don't know. I love it. I like not having the glory. I like being able to put my body on the line for the other guys to go score a touchdown, because I know inside that they can't do that without us.